What's going on, everybody? The Scar Titans here once again. Brother Stogie, say hello.
What up, fam?
And today's episode is actually sponsored by who, Brother Stogie?
Summer Everest.
That's right. So if you're wondering where we got these shirts, be sure to go over to summereverest.com and check it out. They got all kinds of shirts over there. I mean, insane prints. There's hundreds of different options to choose from on the website. You can see that right now. We'll go ahead and we'll scroll through some of those options for you. But Brother Stogie,
Yes.
how do you like the shirt?
There is something on the website for everybody, no matter what your personality is.
Right.
So something for the Cigar Titans out there.
That's right.
Something for the Brother Stogies out there. So go on the website, check it out, find something you like.
Tell me, speak the truth. Tell me, speak the truth. If I tell me, speak the
It is a nice shirt, though.
It is. It's super colorful, right? Yours matches perfectly.
Right.
That was just crazy luck that... Show them the shoes, Brother Stogie. Show them the shoes.
Back around. Let me see. I'm about to get up and show you my foot. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, can y'all see? Oh, the brand new Blazers.
Yeah.
See? It's got the blue shoestring.
Matches perfectly.
Right? That show the whole fit from top to bottom.
Looks good. We'll talk a little bit about the shirts here shortly and where we got them. I think people will be pleasantly surprised when they visit this website. But, Brother Stogie,
Yeah.
how's your week, man?
It's good.
Yeah?
Actually, I want to switch it up. Get ready to do your thing.
All right, I'm ready.
Hey, Titan fan. How's your week been? Did everything go the way you thought it was going to go? How's the family? How's your kids? How's the girlfriend going? How's the single life treating you? How's the married life treating you? Is your baby mama acting the way she's supposed to be acting? Is the baby daddy doing what he's supposed to do? Grab your smoke. Grab your drink. Come on and join the Cigar Titans. Let us know in the comments how your week has been going. Let us know. We always talk about how our week is going. Let us know how yours has been going. You ready to give it to them?
What's going on, everybody? Scar Titan here once again with my good friend Brother Stogie. Say hello to people.
Titan fan.
Brother Stogie,
Y'all.
we got to talking and we thought we would do an episode on how to keep motherfuckers motivated.
Motivate myself to go back to my seat.
Get back in frame.
Yes.
Get back in
There
frame.
we go.
So we got to talking. We thought, what keeps us going? What could potentially help others to keep themselves going when they find themselves in a rut?
So I think we just give them a little breakdown.
Yeah.
A few steps.
Yeah.
Especially for grown ass people.
Grown-ass
to
people.
kind of keep it rolling, keep it going.
Yes. If you're sensitive, turn off the video now because we're going to be real, and some of that stuff may sting a little.
If you're sensitive, I encourage you to try to fish it out throughout the video, to take some of the honest
Yes.
feedback, criticisms that the Cigar Titans will provide for y'all today.
That's right. Well, you ready to get this one started?
Let's give it to them.
Let's go. You hit that camera. Brother Stogie. It's a lot less funny when it sounds rehearsed and off the cuff, right, than when it is off the cuff. But that sun is just coming right straight through the little window over here and getting right in the eye.
But it's almost like you put, because we're getting ready to paint the Stogie Lounge in a little bit. So you know how you put like the paint swatches on the wall? So you have like white and then sunlight white.
Exactly. It's just different shades of white right there.
Right?
Oh, all right. Well, we'll be able to get through it here.
And you got plume white
Exactly.
as it goes through the air. So it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
And then you got Nike Air Force White. Show them your shoes. They're fresh shoes, getting ready for the seasons to come.
It's almost as white as this.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Almost. Almost. Brother Stogie, so like we said at the beginning of the episode, well, actually, you know what we forgot to say?
What?
Is that this is the most entertaining cigar channel on the YouTubes you have found.
The Cigar Titans.
That's right. We forgot to say that at the beginning. We got so caught up in the intro there. But we're back. Took a little hiatus last week to focus on the other channel, Culture Counterattack, and we had some great dialogue on the last episode. We're airing the second half of that episode tomorrow as well. So if you're interested in that, go over to Culture Counterattack and check that out.
Part two.
Part two, that's right. But Brother Stogie, this one is another lounge talk.
Yeah.
First lounge talk of the year. Yeah, it's been a cool minute since we've done a lounge talk.
Yeah.
Yes, and where did we get, or where did you rather get the inspiration for this particular episode?
They're gonna put it on me, huh? Well, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna preface this lounge talk like this. So, you know, we are roughly in the 40s, and by this time, we've either gotten to a point where we are satisfied where we are and we want more. Some people are at this age or at any stage of their life, and they're just like, I just haven't found my niche.
Yes.
I haven't found my belonging. I have my family, and I don't even think I even found my niche within my family. And I'm just not feeling the motivation to keep it going.
Right.
Which is not really good at this point in your time, because at this point, being a man, you should kind of have the ball rolling already.
Right.
So I felt as brothers in this brotherhood-based community with SOTLs watching in as well.
Yes.
I feel it's only a service to provide to the community ways to keep that motivation.
I like this.
You know what I'm saying? So
Brother Stogie, when you're
Yeah.
thinking about motivation and how you keep yourself motivated, I think motivation is a great way to get you off of the couch, right?
Yeah.
I think ultimately, in the end, what ends up making somebody ultimately successful in whatever it is that they're looking to do, whatever that endeavor is going to be consistency in whatever they're doing with some sort of discipline.
Yes.
Because it takes a lot of discipline to do something for a long period of time, consistently over and over and over again.
Agreed. And that could be, and this is motivation can go towards anything. It can go towards your career. It can go towards something you want to do around the house, something that you need to step up doing, something you need to step up and do for your family. This can go for sort of anything.
Yep.
So let's just, the first one, the top one. Not the top one, but just the first one.
Okay.
Recognize what the hell that is.
Yes.
Recognize what you're not being motivated for. Because you could be just overwhelming yourself. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to prioritize what you're motivating yourself to do.
Agree.
And I think the first thing to do is kind of recognize as a person, man, woman, on what that specific duty or endeavor is that you need motivation for.
I agree. I think all too often, and we apologize if you're hearing some crazy noise in the background, we're going to just try to burn right through this, but I promise you, I know the mics are picking it up. Brother Stogie and I already checked.
Right.
Neighbor across the street is doing some work on the house right now, and so he's got some people out there cutting up some tile and some stuff. So
It's real life, y'all.
it's real life. It is what it is.
We're not at the Warner Brothers studios, all right? We have our own homemade studio.
That's right.
Okay, go.
But like I was saying, I think all too often people end up in a situation where they don't really know what it is they're trying to accomplish. They have an idea, and the idea sounds great in concept, but how do you end up flushing that idea out? And like that idea is initially what inspires or motivates you to get up off the couch and to actually do something.
Yeah.
But to your point, Brother Stogie, without a solid plan, how do you know how you're going to get from point A to point B?
Correct.
And I think from there, that kind of leads into another motivational factor, which is set some small goals.
Yes.
Set some small goals for yourself along the way that will allow you to measure your success as you're progressing through whatever it is you're choosing to do. If you're not setting up small goals for yourself, then you're not going to be able to tell if what you're actually trying to do is going to have any success or not. Ultimately, what ends up happening is we have what we want to do and the end goal in mind, but we forget to plan what happens in between.
For example, we'll throw some examples out there. So let's throw the easiest example out there. Let's throw fitness for 2023.
Yep.
I want to set some small, the big goal I want to set is I want to lose 100 pounds.
100 pounds.
I want to get summer body ready. That's not a small goal.
No, it's not.
That's an insurmountable goal right there.
Yeah.
A small goal would be I want to get a diary and track what I'm eating. And I want to do that for a week.
Yep.
That's a small goal. So you can do from Sunday morning to Saturday night. Get your diary, log every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and your snacks, and keep that consistent for the week. Small goals. Let's try what I'm doing right now. Painting my house. Okay, me and my wife, we went from an apartment to a house.
Yep.
And we took for granted the luxuries we had living in an apartment.
A lot more space in the house.
Except for the everlasting increases of rent. Okay? But however, now, as a man in the house, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna paint this big ass house. That's not a small goal.
That is not a small goal.
That is an insurmountable goal to say I'm gonna paint a whole house. So what I did was,
Especially if you're doing it by yourself.
exactly, because my wife won't. She
she ain't doing it.
She ain't waxing on, waxing off shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's my. Anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna paint the upstairs first.
Okay.
All the small walls, I'm gonna do that. Did that. Did the small walls, did my kids' room. Now I'm downstairs into the hallway. I set small goals, so now I can look and see the small pieces I've done. Like, damn, I did that. I did that. That's what we mean by setting small goals. Things that you know that you can accomplish, so when you look back after a week or two of getting it done, you can take ownership and pride in what you've done. And so, you know what? I'm ready to move on to the next step, which may even be a more complicated step.
Yes. So, Brother Stogie.
Yes.
One good way to kind of measure your success, if you've ever worked in the retail space or any kind of corporate structure before, there's this thing called SMART goals. And
Yes.
SMART is actually an acronym for what?
SMART is actually an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
Yes.
And to kind of give like a little brief, we want to make sure everybody kind of knows what we mean by that. So specific, you want to state the objective clearly states so anyone reading it can understand what will be done and who will be doing it.
Right.
And we're talking about yourself. Okay? Measurable. Objectives include how the action will be measured. Measuring your objective helps you determine if you are making progress, meaning tracking your weekly progress in your dietary book to check it out the next week to see if you've been consistent or not. Achievable. Making sure it's realistic. Like I said, painting a whole house in 5 days is probably not gonna happen.
Not unless you got a team of painters with you.
But it's just Brother Stogie.
Right.
Relevant. A relevant objective makes sense. That is, it fits the purpose of the grant. If it fits the culture and the structure of the community, meaning your house and yourself, and it addresses the vision of the project.
Yes.
Lastly, time bound. Every objective has to have a specific timeline for completion.
Right.
Which means there's no room for, what is that P word, bruh? That everyone just seems to hold under their blanket. They seem to pull it out every now and then.
It's procrastination.
Procrastination.
That's right. I mean, if you're not setting a timeline for you to achieve your goal, odds are you're going to hit that weekend where you're like, you know what? I just don't feel like doing anything this weekend. I'll take care of it next weekend. I'll push it off till next weekend.
But Brother Stogie, what does that time goal look like though?
Well, I think that depends on your project, right?
I got an example for it.
Let's hear it.
So Super Bowl 2023 will be at Brother Stogie's Lounge. And my goal is to have the main room where everyone will be watching TV painted
Okay.
by then. Not including the kitchen, just that main room.
Got
So
it.
I've already moved downstairs, the hallway's already painted. And I want to make sure that nice area where everybody will sit and watch the TV will also be painted. And that will need to be done by Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep. So now you've got a specific timeline for when you have to get that done, which means now you have to start prioritizing the other things you have going on in your life to
Yes.
make sure you're setting aside an adequate amount of time to do this.
Exactly.
That's right. I think another important part of maintaining some of that motivation goes back to the SMART goals, where it's talking about, you know, achievable and relevant. I think part of that is also being okay with realizing that something may not be working and then changing course.
Yes.
Right? I think a lot of times we get motivated about a specific project or something that we feel very passionately about, and we let that love for whatever it is blind us to the reality that it may not be the best thing for us to focus on. You know, and there's plenty of examples of that out there.
Give an example of Cigar Titans. I'll give an example. So, for the whole Cigar Titan, this whole 4 years we've been doing this, my man has been doing all the editorial stuff. So all the nice highlights about the smoke shit, all the extra, you know, gifs you see in there, that's this guy. So if we were to split, if Cigar Titan was to become no more Cigar Titans with an S, and we would go our separate ways, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this shit too, because I was already in here and I wanna keep going, right? So that means now Brother Stogie has to go on the computer and figure out all that shit that he was doing. And I think an important part of keeping the motivation is knowing where your limitations are.
Sure.
Knowing what you are not good at and accepting that.
Right.
I think people honing in on a goal because someone else is doing something that they once were doing.
Right.
And they're doing it just to kind of stay in that same atmosphere. I think they lose mindset that maybe it was good when you two were at it.
Right.
And it just might not be for you by yourself.
Right, 100%. And I think there's nothing wrong with realizing that something may not be successful and then transitioning into something else that has the potential to really blow up for you.
That's you.
That's you.
You by yourself. Not you because you and your homie used to do it, but it's just something that you are good at.
Focus on what are your strengths, right? That's not to say you should necessarily neglect some of your weaknesses. I do believe that you should focus on some of your weaknesses, but if you're strictly focusing on your weaknesses while neglecting completely the things that you're particularly strong in, you're doing yourself a disservice. Your strengths are your God-given gift. Those are your talents. Those are the things that make you who you are, and those are the things that you should be focusing the most on.
However, don't be afraid to take on insurmountable obstacles.
Absolutely.
Endeavors. Don't be afraid because you think that you may not be good at it, you can't learn how to do it.
Right.
But this is where SMART goals come in at, okay? You tried this. You knew it was a difficult task. And your measurables aren't quite coming out.
Right.
Okay? The attainables aren't quite coming out. Your timeline has been surpassed for quite some time. This is when you need to come back to your SMART goals and you need to say, you know what? I've followed all these steps and these SMART objectives and it's not working.
Right.
It's time for me to move on.
You got to be honest about where you're at.
To yourself.
Yes. Because if you're not being honest with yourself, you're only doing yourself a disservice. You've got to be honest with yourself.
Because bro code, I'm going to throw a bro code Titan tip up in there.
Do it.
Okay? So no matter how many times you come around the bros, whether you at the lounge, at a house party, or you just with your one bro, and you try to pass off as if you're doing okay. You're trying to pass off as if the task that you're taking on is right there, you rocking and rolling. At some point, the people closest to you will be able to tell, even before you do, that you fucked up already. That is not working, that it's not right for you. I'll tell you this, Titan fan, if you ask your people, your brothers, your SOTLs, your BOTLs, your closest friends, your family, hey bro, I'm having trouble with this task. Can you help me, give me some suggestions? If they tell you that, you know what? Honestly, bro, I think you just hang it up. We've seen you set your objective. We've seen you redo
Shoot
and
your shot.
retry. We've seen you shoot your shots with an S. And honestly, for you, it's just not working out. Take the criticism. What we don't want to hear, especially when we're close to you, is you throwing the criticism back at us. That kind of makes it pointless.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Say, well, you're wrong because I did try that and I think it's going quite well. Well, what the hell did you ask us for? Take the criticism and think about it.
Yep. So there's a story I ran across recently about the founder of the company Ring. Now, everybody today is pretty familiar with the company Ring. They make the doorbell cameras, super popular. You see them all over the internet, promoted like crazy. Did you know that the founder of Ring actually went, before Ring blew up and became a big thing, the guy who was making Ring actually went on Shark Tank and pitched the idea to the sharks for the Ring doorbell camera.
And got shot down?
He got shot down by every single one of the sharks, with the exception of one who was offering him basically unrealistic terms for what he was looking for. So he left empty-handed. The guy ended up going and finding another investor who some of you have probably heard of, Richard Branson, who is the founder of Virgin Records. He's got his own, airline, Virgin Airlines, multi-billionaire a few times over, went ahead and gave him the upfront capital he needed to get his company off the ground. Not a surprise, Ring blew up. Guess who got invited back to the show Shark Tank as one of the sharks?
Sharks. Well. Look who's back.
Oh, did he?
He did, and is now one of the sharks on Shark Tank. So when you're thinking about what it is you want to accomplish, don't be discouraged when you find yourself with a setback, or maybe things don't always pan out the way you hoped they would. That's okay. Sometimes it just means you need to go back to the drawing board. Sometimes it means you need to think outside of the box. Sometimes it means maybe you need to network a little bit more. You never know how close you are to striking gold until you strike gold.
Right.
You give up too soon, you'll never know.
Right.
But Brother Stogie, I know you had one last one you wanted to end on.
I do. This was kind of twofold. So, everyone's motivation looks different.
Yes.
Everyone's sense of happiness looks different. And I want people to make sure there's a difference between being happy with your level of success and being content with your level of mediocrity. Okay? There's a difference. Be careful not to gauge your success with what others have going on. Me and my boy, we had a conversation about a week ago or so, and he asked me just flat out, hey, if you were to die today or tomorrow, would you be happy with where you're at today? And I took a little pause, and I'm like, actually, I am. My happiness is surrounded by my family. My happiness is surrounded by, my education, graduate degrees, big, nice family. And I do fairly well as a nice black man in America.
Yes, you do.
And that makes me happy. I'm not content because do I feel like I've reached my Maslow hierarchy of needs of self-fulfillment? Nah, I believe once that window opens, there's something else that Brother Stogie can go and attack.
Right.
Furthermore. But right now, yes, I am happy with my level of success. My man's here, he was like, you know what? I'm happy, but I want more right now. And that's understandable. Everyone's place of success is not the same. So please make sure you realize where you are at and your sense of happiness. And the twofold is very simple.
What is it?
Stop being a bitch.
There it is.
Get your ass up. Stop being lazy. Go make something happen. Take care of your fucking family. Take care of yourself. Make sure you and whoever around you, make sure you are happy with where you are. Do not be the cloud in everyone's fucking inbox or telephone call because you constantly complaining, but you don't find solutions. Just go fucking make it happen.
The world is filled with people who love to provide excuses.
Yes. And it's like, bro, like, just go do it. Like, go do it.
Right.
BS.
Brother Stogie, that is all the time we have for today.
I hope that wasn't too long, but I felt like that was a lot of good information for y'all.
It was. What should the people do?
Don't fret. We had a comment on the Culture Counterattack. It was like, hey, what's going on? Is there no more cigar types? Yes, we are here.
We
ain't going nowhere, right? We've got 2 motherfucking channels now. So it might be an exchange of week on, week off, week on, week off, so we can make sure we get enough content on the other channel as well. So we are still here, Cigar Types. So if you want to make sure you don't miss a video, you have to subscribe. In order to see the videos after you subscribe, you have to hit that bell so you can do notification every time Cigar Types posts a video for y'all. Like, share, comment. If you're new to the channel, make sure you introduce yourself on the premiere, which airs usually every Sunday at 4 p.m.
I like that.
Usually. Usually.
Sometimes shit happens.
You know what I'm saying? Every Sunday at 4 p.m. But just make sure you introduce yourself, comment, let us know what motivates you.
Yes.
How you've been doing, how you motivate you, how you keep yourself motivated. Even if your wife helps keep you motivated. Let us know. Also, don't forget to check us out on Culture Counterattack on the other YouTube channel. We got some nice shit coming up, and we have more content, some more good shit coming up, so make sure you don't miss that.
Yes.
Oh, and until next time, live how you smoke how you live. That's smooth, baby.
Don't forget to go check out summereverest.com if you want to get some cool shirts. We'll see everybody next week.
That too.